How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Call of Duty Modern Warfare Spec Ops trailer that was just released. If you guys have played some of the older Call of Duty games, you will know that like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, there was Spec Ops or Special Ops, as you know, that's just for short for Spec Ops. Basically, they announced that this game is going to have it, and the rumors are false. It is not exclusive to just PSN for a whole year. A certain type of mode for Spec Ops is exclusive on PSN for a year. So Spec Ops itself is on all platforms. I have a little document to show even more for that, but right now we're going to be going over this trailer. We're going to watch it one time through, and then we're going to do an analysis on it to pick up on some of the different things that we can see in it here. I have not seen this yet, so let's just run through this thing straight and just see what it is right off the bat. So I'm going to be quiet during this just so we can watch it and just see what we have here. I'm rated M. Special Ops.
The war in Verdansk runs on a black market.
These new weapons, Alcatel has the power to turn acts of terror into acts of war.
We're launching a multilateral force to hunt AQ's new leader and contain this threat while we still can.
What the heck? Whoa, hold on. I know I was gonna watch the way through, but is that the pool from COD 4? Is that the pool from Call of Duty 4? In Chernobyl? We'll go back to that in a second. We'll go back to that in a second. That really looks like it, though.
Your mission is to find, fix, and finish off high-value targets of the AQ network in Verdansk.
Whoa!
These HVTs are powerful, well-connected collaborators.
They all serve one new master.
Secure, moving!
Jeez. Okay. Well. Wait. What? Is that all? Okay. I think that's all of it. Wow. Okay, so again, that looked like a little bit of Call of Duty 4. Just that pool area there. That could just be any pool, but I just feel like it is. So maybe there's bits and pieces from the other Modern Warfare games, but so it's 4-player co-op, but Spec Ops from before, it was co-op, but this seems like it's a campaign, like campaign missions. So I wonder if maybe through the campaign, this might blend over like certain elements, or maybe like certain bits of places that we are going to be in campaign, we get to do in Spec Ops. I wonder if it's something like that where maybe there's bits and pieces of lore that we're going to be exploring in the Spec Ops, where maybe in campaign, you know, it just doesn't really make sense because it's like a single player, you know, kind of linear shooter thing. But maybe the Spec Ops, it's like you're in a certain area and you're doing multiple tasks in these areas, because it looked like, I mean, they were like setting up bombs, I think, or something like that here. Yeah, like setting up bombs, jumping out of airplanes. So it's not the normal Spec Ops experience where we're like loading up and setting up our whole, even here, like this is like straight out of Payday, like using the giant saw to get into like, is this a bank or something? Yeah, I think it's a bank. They're getting into some bank. And there's cameras and stuff like that. So it's kind of like Payday, maybe like kind of like Rainbow in a way, but they're not fighting other like people. It's not PvP, but this actually looks really cool. It looks like they're taking a lot of elements from different games. Yeah. 4-player co-op on a massive scale. So it looks like we're playing in bigger maps and doing more campaign type of missions. It doesn't seem like we're just building a fort and fighting waves of enemies. So we might be fighting waves of enemies, but also doing objectives at the same time. Extinction on Ghost did that kind of wave of enemies, but you're also doing certain tasks at the same time. I think it's going to be similar to that, where we're fighting waves of enemies, but at the same time, we are also going through, you know, different elements, different places. I guess this is maybe a revive animation. It looks like we get our specialist like kind of abilities or whatever. We get the shields and stuff like that. Maybe we'll get the stem and everything else. But I'm interested in this. I wonder, because it shows in there here with attachments and stuff like that. It definitely looked like they were trying to make the whole experience of Modern Warfare be pretty fluent, from like campaign, multiplayer, to maybe Spec Ops. So I wonder, is this going to have a different separate level up system where you might be able to prestige and unlock stuff for maybe Spec Ops, and the multiplayer has its own thing? You know, campaign probably won't have leveling up, but I wonder if a certain character's level up you can bring to both. Like if you play Spec Ops, can you level up the multiplayer level, or is it two separate things? You know, I'm curious. So maybe the skins from one thing could be carried over to the other. That would be pretty cool. Black Ops 4 did a lot of that, except for Dark Matter going over to zombies. Anyway, so we have that there, but I also have some stuff here from Charlie Intel giving some intel about basically what's going on in this. So we have a little bit of a backstory as to what Spec Ops, Special Ops is going to be. A greater evil has taken over the Eastern Hemisphere, and it is up to the Global Alliance, Armistice, and a joined force alliance and coalition operators led by Kate Leswell, no idea, CIA and Sergeant blah blah blah, to stop a severe and global terror organization's access to weapons, funds, intelligence, and hardware. So basically, we're stopping terrorists from getting more intelligence, hardware, weapons, and stuff like that. So we have some more details here about the Special Ops mode, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare is an extension of the game's campaign mode. So it is stemming off a campaign, maybe not so much multiplayer, which can be a little bit concerning, but it looks like it just follows the narrative of the campaign. So maybe certain story aspects are kind of coming over into the Spec Ops mode. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of the same characters from campaign in this. It sounds to me like this, you know, Kate Linswell and blah blah blah, this Sergeant Kamarov. They're probably like campaign characters that we'll see be brought over. The Motivate is available on all platforms and is reimagined as a collection of expansive, interconnected operations against a new and encroaching threat. Players will assemble into strike teams of 4, so 4-player, like we've seen most secondary modes, not Black Ops anyway. Most secondary modes, you know, where you get to pick, 4 people. Even Black Ops has 4 people, I guess. So I guess that didn't make sense. So strike teams of 4, multiple phased objectives, which together will advance the overarching story of Modern Warfare. So it actually has story elements and story campaign. Most Spec Ops that we've seen from the past didn't really do anything for the campaign. It was more arcade-like. They might be trying to take up a Treyarch like they did with their zombie mode and actually have a story with this, instead of this just being some arcade, you just going through the motions, fighting kind of deal, which actually to me sounds pretty cool. I'm glad they're kind of doing that. Hopefully they don't ruin it by having too much narrative. Hopefully gameplay was first and then narrative second. That's all I can hope for this, because we don't want another zombies ending like we did in Black Ops 4, which would be super sad. Again, I'd love to grow attached to some of these characters and play some new stuff, but let's get into some game mode features. So the game mode features both operations and missions. Operations are a larger multi-staged feature for Special Ops and Modern Warfare, and missions are built within the operations. So maybe only operations or maybe only missions are exclusive for PSN for a year. I'm not too sure, so we'll have to see. Exclusive survival mode to feature 3 multiplayer maps at launch. This, I think, is what they're talking about whenever they're talking about the PS4 exclusive. So we have a survival mode feature on 3 multiplayer maps. So that's the exclusive mode there. So that kind of answered my question with that. But operations, as you infill into one of the many war-torn zones within Special Ops, you and your team will have a latitude on how to accomplish your operations. This Special Ops game mode is a 4-player match-made activity centered around interconnected experiences that take a form of objectives. We know about that. Each culminating in the removal or destruction of a key logistical aspect of the Al-Qatala army. So again, kind of like we talked about before, some sort of, person we're at the fight over in, I guess, the Middle East or something like that. Missions, complementing the multi-stage operations and also available across all platforms, so that's the one we have on all of them, are additional missions, which can be played solo or with up to 4 players. I'm glad they have solo, because sometimes I just like playing offline by myself or whatever. Whereas operations give you a wits, breadth, and strategic and tactical choice. Missions are a more curated experience where your proficiency with specific weapons, kill streaks, and other tools will be tested. I think this is going to be more like the classic Spec Ops than the other ones. So operations sound like the bigger, grand, kind of campaign kind of looking ones, whereas maybe the missions are more scaled back. These missions are extremely replayable, and you're able to achieve 1, 2, or 3 stars ranking based on your performance. Naturally, there will be an infinite ward time that you can attempt to beat. So that's kind of a classic, spin on the first, like, sort of campaign mission in Modern Warfare, the original, where you actually go into the practice like range or whatever, and you do that little operation there and you try to beat the times of the Infinity Ward time. So we're actually going to be facing against the actual people who created the game, which is actually pretty cool. It's enjoyable. So let's see how many maps and things like that we have. The company also confirmed that all post-launch operations for Special Ops will be coming to all platforms at the same time. Again, a lot of people thought that wasn't true. That is not true. It is 3 multiplayer maps that have a survival mode that will be there. Spec Ops is on all modes right away. Operations and Special Ops and Call of Duty Modern Warfare will have your stats, including operators, loadouts, and progress will carry over from multiplayer mode. Okay, cool. So operators, loadouts, so I'd imagine that's guns and everything else. You can pick which operator and loadout to use, and this build. Strategy with the squad, Special Ops mode will support up to 4 players, so maybe it'd be good to have like one guy do shotgun, other dude have claymores, this and that, kind of back and forth, especially for missions. Sounds like missions is more the classic sort of Special Ops, so that's actually pretty interesting how to work that out. So you can have all the stuff from multiplayer mode carry over, but I wonder, are we just playing Spec Ops for these stars, or are we actually getting stuff out of it? It'd be cool if we got more stuff than just, oh, you got a player icon, oh, you got a skin, you got a trophy. That is cool, and I like getting those, because man, Spec Ops honestly is really fun. It's very casual. It sounds like operations is where you go to get something bigger. A big problem with zombies is sometimes the matches now aren't as casual anymore. You have to build up so much to do it, which is fun, whenever you're feeling it, but sometimes you really just want a nice, laid-back secondary mode where you're just kind of shooting around. You're not sweating your butt off like some of the new zombie maps you have to do. Multiplayer, of course, you got to sweat your butt off. Some of these, secondary missions like Spec Ops, they just feel nice and laid back and good. So I'm glad that they're including something that seems a little more laid back, but if you want to go do something bigger, like the operations, you can have more. So that's really, really cool. I'm glad that they have that. The ending scene at the end of the trailer, the comment said there, is exactly how the beginning of Modern Warfare starts. The dude comes out with a deagle and shoots the person in the head. If you've played Modern Warfare, you know exactly the scene I'm talking about. The whole campaign's kind of like getting after him. So that's pretty interesting. I wonder if we're fighting his army. I'm not too sure if that's what it is. It's been a little while since I've played a Modern Warfare game. Obviously, they're pretty old. Last thing I played was actually Spec Ops and Modern Warfare 3. This might be his army or some sort of side army, but that's very reminiscent of him for what we've seen. Again, this game comes out October 25th, and then if you're on PlayStation, you have the 3 exclusive survival mode maps as well. I kind of want to click onto that and read what we have going on here. Related to the Special Operations missions, an additional wave-based horde mode known as Special Ops Survival. This is an exclusive additional cooperative mode for PlayStation, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 4, basically, or Modern Warfare 4, PlayStation 4 Modern Warfare play that pits you and up to 3 of your friends against enemies, forces, in intense cooperative combat on one of the 3 multiplayer maps, in Special Ops Survival mode. This is just so long. You'll fight off waves of increasingly difficult and determined combatants in a variety of experiences. So, okay. So basically we have... Look at this dude. Can't wait to get mine October 20th. Yikes. Jesus Christ. So in other words, not just 1% of the game is promised. Okay, that's... yeah, that's getting pretty sad. On one of 3 multiplayer maps. So you get 3 multiplayer maps that we're going to be doing this in. It actually seems pretty cool to me. Do I wish this was on all platforms? Yes, because it's kind of dumb that they did that. I really like having, you know, everybody be able to experience the fun. Give a big shout out to Kashav Bahats because he did the last post too. So big shout out to them. And Charlie Intel, of course, for giving me this news. I think that's going to wrap up this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'd love for everybody to be able to play this right away, but you guys can expect more videos of this here on my channel. If you want more of this type of content, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. We're trying to get that 750 mark. I can't wait to get there, but as always, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.